Means cut from a different cloth. Now joining forces, helping you to elevate your personal brand. Yeah, I'm talking about Nicky and Moose, bringing you a never before seen perspective into the mindset, the mentality, the behaviors, the driving force, but more importantly, the stories behind the people and brands that you know and love the most.
Was poppin'. Welcome, Nicky and Moose. I'm Nicky. That's Moose. What's up, Moose?
What up, y'all?
And welcome to the live show.
It's that time of the week.
Because we're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and wherever else this is playing. Not really sure.
Vibes? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I still got to figure out how to put it on the Nicky and Moose page. Right now it's going on my page. So shout out to LinkedIn people. But first off, Moose, you looking kind of clear. You're looking kind of clear right now.
I got some new upgrades courtesy to you.
I see you.
Thank you.
I see you.
Yeah, thank you. We got a new lens in the mail. Just made it happen. And of course, shout out to the good brother, Mr. Carl Wesley Phillips, who helped me get the lighting a little set up. So we're making strides out here, good people. We're making some strides out here. We're making a little big upgrade.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little big upgrade.
First and foremost, the new episode 65, is out right now. What was it called again?
Ownership Opportunities.
There we go. Ownership Opportunities, the spin-off words based off Moose. That was all his idea. So go check that out. Man, can I say something?
Please.
Shout out to those people who are surviving COVID, right? Because I didn't know it makes you dumber. I did not know. Man. It makes you dumber. So they call it brain fog. I don't know what's happening, but I can't complete some certain sentences. So if I stumble today, it is what it is. I'm trying to figure this out, but I don't like this. They didn't say that part. They didn't say that part.
Yeah,
I don't
didn't
like
read
it.
That part of the research. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, I gotta fix these comments. But Moose, tell us about your day real quick. Besides you looking all clear.
Yeah, no, thank you. Today was a good day. Carl came to town yesterday, so it was cool to have some of the peeps in the hometown. Kind of, it's a hometown. Well, I mean, I still think I have a cheat code because I'm on the borderline of New York, New Jersey. So I get the best of both worlds. I get to see the city, but I don't get to deal with the city's traffic in a sense where I'm positioned. So it was a good time. But no, man, it's been fun. We got to eat some good food, had amazing conversation, had a really great meeting. I mean, who knows what can manifest out of that? But we're being safe, and we're making some good things happen in the process. So it's working.
Are we not going to talk about it? We just great meeting.
I mean, it's just because I know how typically when you're not involved in the meetings, you're gonna be like, so what? So we just gonna.
Listen, it's on you. If you want to talk a little bit about it, you had a dope experience. Go ahead, talk about it.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I think the dopest experience for me, and we have a special guest. Carl, you might want to just pull a chair and just after you're done eating. Carl's eating here, guys, so we'll give him a couple minutes, let him finish his kind of dinner, and maybe he'll just pull a chair and we'll we'll have him share his piece as well.
Hey.
No, but it was fun, man. I think the best part for me was, like, again, showing Carl other parts of it as well, because I think Carl gets the opportunity every time he goes to a new city is like, wait, what? And there's nothing like when you have, so like, how we go, let's say, for example, we have a conference in Atlanta or wherever it may be. You go there, but unless you're with some of the locals, you don't really get the true Atlanta experience. You get the, let me just Google my way around Atlanta and kind of figure it out. But when you
Yeah.
come here and there's someone who lives in the area who can like give you the best of every little opportunity that's available. So that part for me is really fun. Right. So that part for me, I really enjoy. So I had a blast doing that. But as far as from a business side, man, I just think it's so cool to finally be sitting at some tables where the dialogue is totally different. You know, it's a different conversation. It's not so transactional. It's not so, well, what's in it for me right now? And how can we do something super quick? Like there is strategy in place. There's like, hey, let's take our time. There's no rush. Let's get this thing right. So that for me, I think is super cool. So that's how I would summarize today.
Good. Oh, we're getting he's freezing. Hold on. That's, maybe not. I don't know. I don't see what's happening. See,
Let me see.
we had a good show last time, and then it was like, boom, boom, boom. But I see I think it's fine. We'll see. Anyways, even my mom texts me, like, yo, he's freezing. Isn't this? Hold on.
Dang.
Hold up. Nope. I think we're good. I think we're okay, but we'll see. Moose, what are we talking about today?
Well, okay, good. So I think over the last couple of weeks, we've kind of taken our time to set up the new year or preparing ourselves for the new year. We at least wanted to do our part in having a conversation consistently enough where people can start saying, oh, shoot, all right, let me take some time and start prepping myself as well. And we've talked about everything from goals, lessons, all of this good stuff, right? But we didn't talk about one very important part of it, which is what do you leave behind, right? And I love this example that was, I think I saw in a sermon one time where they were showing like if you are to pour water into a full gallon, you can't. Like it's already full. So the only way to put more into it or put a different type of liquid or fluid into it is to make space for it.
Okay.
Right? You have to actually dump some stuff out and allow space for this new, whatever it may be that you want in going into the new year. So I was like, okay, we've talked about goal setting. We've talked about habits and traits. We've talked about lessons. We've talked about we've talked about a lot of different things over the last few weeks. We really almost dedicated almost the entire month to just that concept. So I was like, all right, lastly now, let's talk about the hard part, which is the breaking up part, the leaving behind part. Yeah, it sounds a little, a little extreme, but seriously, it's about, okay, how can I do differently so that I can allow room or create space for these new things that I want? Because none of that stuff can manifest or take place or really happen if we're literally not even allowing the time for it. So yeah, just wanted to have a little conversation around that. So I wanted to kick it off and of course ask you like, how do you make space for what you want to manifest or accomplish in the new year, yet not fall off or misplace what you've built in the past year, right? And again, I'm talking about the turning of a year. So how do you make space for what's coming in 2022 without misplacing what came in 2021?
Say that in a different way. That sounds too deep for me. No, I got brain fog.
Fair. It's like there are some good things that might have happened in 2021, right? And it's like, okay, there's some level of energy that's still required to keep that thing ongoing.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of it, we know that we want to do differently. We want to do better. We might even want to do bigger going into the new year.
Okay.
So the thought process of like, okay, well, how do I start making space for the things that I want to happen in the new year, but still make sure that I'm not mismanaging or misplacing whatever I might have acquired in the last year?
I mean, it's really sitting down and assessing, like, what worked, what didn't. And even the ones that did work, is my new goals more important than what I acquired, right? So though I may have some things that worked in this year and I could bring it to 2022, but then I have some goals that, how do I want to put this? That if it is accomplished, it's way more important than what happened this year. So I have to prioritize on, okay, you're going to have a few new goals. How important are they? And is it worth bringing some of the things that did work to 2021 when you know you have some new levels to make and some new goals to do, right? So that's kind of how I look at it. And then definitely the whole whatever didn't work, I'm definitely not bringing. I'm not bringing at all. But that takes a minute, not a minute, but like this week I've been going over with what works, what doesn't kind of vibes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. Why do you think it's difficult to, or at least for some people, to let go, right? And we've talked about loyalty to a fault. We've talked, come on, go ahead.
I hate Nick. I hate Nick. And the bad thing is he texts me and says, don't laugh on camera.
Oh boy. Nick, you making fun of me, Nick?
No. It's all about the freezing and everything like that. So we're good.
Gotcha.
He was just making fun of the whole freezing situation. But go ahead. It's real life.
So
this is real life. This is a live show. I apologize.
And we literally just, and it's funny because we just fixed this before we recorded the podcast. When was it? I don't know, last week or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I was just saying, how do you, one of the things that I've discovered, and this is a very recent lesson for me, is that, and I said it on the podcast, but you can't be loyal to people who don't want your loyalty. So there's a lot of energy that we just waste or we disperse because we're trying to gain the attention or the approval of people who simply just don't want it. They can pretend like they want it because you know what? It's convenient for them. They can go out and chase and do their thing elsewhere. But whenever they come back, it's like, oh, this person will always be there. What a convenient, right? How convenient. But is it mutual? Probably not. Not as much as you'd like it to be. It doesn't give you the things that you need to go out and maybe progress in your own life or contribute to the greater good. So I call it loyalty to a fault now, right? Where you're trying to give your loyalty to someone or a group of people who may not want your loyalty. And so you're wasting energy or taking away from what you could be doing and improving and developing elsewhere. So I'm saying, like, why do you think it's difficult for people to just see that and be like, you know what, I'm cutting away from that. Like, I don't care what's going to be said. I don't care how it makes somebody feel. I'm going to break away and go and really just focus on me. So talk about why you think that's difficult and how are you like moving differently to not let that hold you back in the new year?
I mean, I think it's difficult because we get emotionally attached to
100%.
Like whether it is the people involved, whether even it's the results, anything we put energy to, we get attached, you know? It's very rare when you can do something without being attached, or you're a rare breed when, okay, I'm going to try to do this and it doesn't work, or it doesn't work to its full potential. And you're like, all right, bet, next. Like, it's a rare breed. So first you have to like identify that you are attached. That's the first part. Second, if you're going into the new year being attached to the old, you're already setting yourself up for failure. Regardless if it's a good old or a bad old, you're attached because things aren't always going to work out and you're going to stay that way, right? So it's difficult, but you have to at least identify and detach yourself from any situation, from any results or goal that you have, so it could be easier to progress. Like, what's that thing that they say? Like, normally when something stops working or not working to its full potential, once you cut it out, something new grows. Something new that's supposed to happen just all of a sudden like shoots. And you're like, yo, wait, since when? What happened? Right? It's because your energy is directed in the right place now. It's not directed to what was there or what could have been or whatever, but you're so attached to it. It's like you're not even seeing that you gotta let that go.
Okay, so let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Go.
What if the attachment isn't an emotional situation, but it's value driven? And here's what I mean by that.
Okay.
What if somebody simply needs more time? Right? Or you're in a leadership position and you recognize that. I think a part of leadership is recognizing that, oh, not everybody is like me. Not everyone is going to develop or transform or grow at the same level that I've moved at. And I have to be able to work with people at their own pace. So it's like, okay, it's not an emotional issue, but how do I balance it from a leadership standpoint where I know I have to give energy to still help you progress and develop along, but I'm not doing it to a point that it's holding me back from what I'm supposed to be developing in a brand new year. I think again, it's easy. We could say, oh yeah, just that could be the adjustment. But I'm just saying, like, what if that's the case? Do you treat it with the same mentality? Do you say, you know what? Nope, I'm gonna cut you. Because I've talked to some people, and shout out to the flight assessment. I see a lot of people here. So if you haven't heard of the flight assessment, check us out at flightassessment.com. Flightassessment.com. Shout out to the Nicky boys.
Flightassessment.com.
Yeah, there it is. But I've heard people say, like, devote 80% of your energy on the top 20% of the people in your company or in your business or in your organization. Heck, you might stretch it to your life. Yeah. It's like, dang, if I'm devoting 80% of my energy to the top 20 people, if you do the math on that, that's a little crazy. So it's like, if it's 10 people, then I'm devoting 80% of my energy to 2 people. Yeah. And the remaining 8 are just going to get whatever is left. It is what it is. Yeah. And it's like, okay, but number 3, number 4, they may not be 1 and 2, but they're pretty close. Maybe with a little bit of energy, a little bit of focus, a little bit of something, they might be able to progress just as much as the others. So I'm saying, how does one look at a situation like that? And from some form of approach, at least put something in place to say, okay, here's how I'm going to go about this. Here's how I'm going to be able to at least deal with those issues so that I'm not leaving people behind, but I'm not getting stuck back there with them.
I want to know your answer to it before I answer it.
That's a tough situation.
That's why I'm like, how you give me tough?
Because I'm trying to get help. Yeah, I'm asking, trying to get help. I'm
like, you know what? I'm not taking this one. You go take this one first.
Let me get some help. But no, I think it's we heard something today that I thought was pretty good. It was like, deal with each person as much as possible as an individual. Right? And if you can afford the time, the luxury to be able to devote that much time with each person on an individual basis, over the long haul, that's something that's going to develop. I'm more of like almost like an old school belief where you could lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink, that kind of mentality. But I look at it from a different standpoint, is I can work with anybody except those who don't want to learn. I'm willing to go through the ringer to help someone develop, to help someone overcome some challenges. Right. But he or she who don't want to learn, they're just a bad student, if we're to use that language. Those are people that I have a very difficult challenge continuing to stick around, because at any point that I want your development more than you want it for yourself, it leaves me with no option but to cut ties. So I know it's a very fine line between loyalty, leadership, helping someone grow and develop. But I think that for me, as I think about it out loud, is at any point, if I want what's best for you more than you want it for yourself, I can't do it.
But okay, hold on.
Okay.
Because we have certain situations like that, right? What if the person or the group of people have been in an environment that doesn't necessarily allow them to see their potential or where they can go? So it's hard for them to learn new ways because of that.
And I think you know my answer.
I'm just, the people want to know the answer. I don't,
Right.
I know the answer, but the people want to know the answer.
Yeah, I think there's only two things you can do at that point. All right. Because again, I love the word loyalty. I love the concept of being loyal. I think one of my greatest traits and characteristics is loyalty. But I'm now realizing, again, I'm going to keep saying it, that there is such a thing as you can be loyal to a fault.
Yes.
You can be so loyal that you stop your development. That's the reality of the situation. And I'm not speaking from a place of perfection. I've in a large way have struggled with this because I may have saw it differently, or what I consider to be loyal is different than what somebody else considered to be loyal. And that's a hindrance. So I just love to use principles to help me almost balance or lower my extremes a little bit. So my principle for me was simply, you have two choices.
Okay.
You either limit the contact or eliminate completely. So that's the only, and you get to choose. You get to try out, like, okay, which one of these works? Which approach do I want to take with it? Do I want to limit how much contact I spend, meaning communication, energy, time-wise? If we talked every day, can I put a little boundary on that where we talk maybe once every other day, once every few days, once a week? And that becomes the new norm for the relationship to survive, because now I'm still present, but I'm not sacrificing parts of me that I need to develop and grow. Or on the flip side of it, is the only answer simply eliminating? And I think that's the bad rep that, unfortunately, the professional or personal development industry creates. Not a bad rep, but that's one of the challenges that it creates. It's so big on this never quit mentality that you can go hard on a bad situation.
Okay. I see why you say that. But at the same time, I think, what's the happy medium for people that struggle with that? For the simple fact, you go from loyal to a fault to eliminate. That's dramatic. That's extremes.
Very extreme. Yes.
Not saying it's not needed, but I mean, it's very extreme to why I could see why some people are paralyzed, because there's no like, okay, we're in like level 1, what's level 2? Because I got to get to level 5, which is complete elimination. And I want to get there. I see what's happening, but you're literally telling me go from 0 to 100 real quick. How, Sway?
No, I'm not necessarily saying go 0 to 100. I'm saying if you've made attempts and the desire from that party hasn't matched the level of energy and time that you've invested to make it work, then at some point you need to stop being so loyal and you need to make an adjustment. Because again, I love the law of attraction. I love New Year's resolution. I love this vision planning and goal setting and making a list and affirmations. But big question for tonight is how do you expect yourself to do all of this, but not empty out or remove some of the parts of you that are holding you back from that exact piece? And one of the biggest areas that we tend to struggle in is letting people live in our life or take time of our day for longer than they're supposed to. So that's why I'm calling it loyalty to a fault. And I'm addressing the people attachment first before anything else, because
I think that's what's confusing. That's what's confusing me, because I'm like, I'm going now towards the people. Like, hold on, you did tell me to eliminate. I'm loyal to a fault. I'm already crying. What's happening? Mm-hmm. And then you just switched it back. Wait, no, it's not that. Okay, I get it. I'm back.
Yeah, no, that's just my explanation on it, because I just feel like there is no, and it's the area that we as humans tend to struggle in the most.
Okay.
Speaking from experience, we tend to struggle. Like, it's easy to trim fat in even some of the habits.
Yeah.
But when it comes to people, it becomes very difficult to trim fat.
Yeah. But I
for many
think,
different reasons. Yeah.
So I think it's almost safe to say, and I could be wrong, but I think if you struggle with letting go of people, you may struggle with letting go of certain things you've put energy towards. Because it's, like I said, you put energy towards people and you put energy towards a project that may still have people involved in it, in some way, shape, or form. You're going to struggle letting it go. That's why I can assume that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, for sure.
I know,
it's like you've invested energy into something. Yeah. You're not just, it's not easy to let go of. That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, because I know I struggle with letting certain things go from both sides. Now I have the ability to, I'm the extremist. I'm either loyal to a fault or I cut you off and I'm good on you, right?
There's no limit contact.
Yeah, that's it. I'm good on you. Like, if it's a project, it's not working no more. All right, bet. I'm not emotionally attached to it, right? You spend like 6 months doing it. That's okay. I'm not emotionally attached, right? There's some things that I can do that. There's other things, depending on who's involved. That's the key part for me. Depending on who's involved, I'm like, no, let's try it one more time. Okay, I'll come back and I'll try this, that, and the third, and a little bit of momentum. I'm good, right? And then I just always come back.
Okay, you're a good person to ask this question too, because you really do that, by the way. I'm not
Thank
even
you.
gonna hold you. These are facts. These are absolute facts. Yeah. What does someone have to do to earn like a for life card? Meaning, like, okay, like it does. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It is literally for life. Or is that not even a thing?
Oh,
yeah, that's big.
That's I don't know if I could pinpoint really what is a for lifer, right? I could definitely say if you've impacted me in more than just business, and in more of a making me feel normal and accepted, you probably have a for lifer card. Like, you really can't do no wrong, or if you do wrong, I'm like, let me step away for a little bit and then I come back. Like, hello. But I never really thought about that. Yeah, no, I never really thought, like, who gets the for lifer, like, because I know there's a few that have, like, for lifer cards. Not many. I know a few. And when they do wrong, right, it's like, I'll fade away a little bit and talk smack, because that's how I am. I'll fade away and talk smack.
Yeah.
And then I'll come back when I feel like they mean right this time. Like, no, I got it. Boom, need you. And I'm like, all right, okay. Try this again. All right. And then the energy's there again. And then when I see the fade again, I'm like, this is just an ongoing thing. This is an ongoing thing. There's like I said, it's not many. And there's some that I wish I could take the 4 lifer card away. But facts. I be asking God, like, why do you still have this person in my life? There is clearly a reason, and I don't know this reason, but can you please tell me when the expiration date is? Because I can't, and I don't know how much this is a bad drug addiction. Like, I keep coming back. Well, what's wrong with this, right? No, people, I was never on drugs. I'm just saying. But yeah, I there's some I want to take away. If I could take away, like 2
For life card.
like two of them.
2 of them.
Oh, there's 2. There's 2 strong cards that I wish I could just go into their wallet and take.
Who could it be?
Give me that.
Who could it be?
Give me that. You just abused this like crazy.
Yeah, no, it's real. And on the point of people, another thing I think that is important to do, and in a way I'm doing it with our community of people right now, is take inventory of people who are willing, but you're not extending that extra, like that just final piece to just be like, okay, we can make this click. Because again, I've just noticed it's something about humans, right? It's we want people who don't want us, and we overlook those who do.
Right.
So I'm just saying, if we're going to make the adjustment and trim the fat, it's like, make space, pull back some of your for lifer cards, pull them back, and with that energy, give it to some people. Because I bet if you just sat back for a moment and just started looking at your relationships, review your text messages, review the people who respond to your stories, review to the people who kind of shout you out or who love what you're doing or who support you along the way, you're going to realize that there are some people there who have been rooting for you all along, and you have just accepted as normal. You have put them out of sight, out of mind, and have completely overlooked the potential of, wow, what can be done here? All right, so I'm just saying, I think
you're gonna reach another topic. Don't do that.
Go for it. Come on. No, we got time. It's
no,
early,
because I could see that on 2 ends, right?
Okay.
Like I could see where I'll be honest, that used to be Isaiah for me, right? Where I didn't fully see until, which I felt was late, right? But he loves me, so he's like, you're busy. I get it. I understand, right? But because I was concentrating on a 4 lifer, right? I didn't see what was right in front of me, which was Isaiah, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also on the other end as well of, hello, you're not really seeing what I could really do. Like, you think I'm cool, whoop-de-woo, but you're really not seeing the full potential. And I don't know how long you're going to take.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm going to truly stay for you to figure this out. Because everybody else is figuring it out. Everybody else. So, So I've been on both sides. I've been on the, oh my God, I'm blind. Why didn't I see this? You're extremely dope. Here, you get all my attention now. Boom. And then over here on some, hello, hey, you think I do this? I don't. I do so much more. I'm like so amazing in like real life. And like in your world, I'm a peon. What?
I know exactly who you're talking about. This is good. Yeah. This is good.
This is good. This is great. Let's keep talking about this. This is amazing.
Yeah. This is good. Yep.
And people who are watching, right, whether live or the replay, let us know what side you've been on. Like, have you been on the side that you know, like totally ignored somebody like full potential and how great they are right in front of you, right? Or have you been the person that is like, hey, hello, me. Like, you keep concentrating over there and they keep losing, they keep fumbling, they can't do deadlines, but here, hello, I'm like giving you everything plus coffee. What's up? So I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that's important. That's important. Let's talk about this next piece because it doesn't fit the topic per se, but I just want to talk about it because I've been like kind of debating it in my mind, right? So I've talked about like one of the important traits, especially going into a new year, like one of the things that we should really brush up on is discipline.
Okay.
And I heard something that said that you can't count discipline in things that don't tempt you. So let me explain. Yeah, I thought I might get that reaction from you. So for example, you might be someone who naturally doesn't drink. Like for me, I don't drink, right? So making that a goal and saying, oh, I'm going to exercise discipline and not drink. I said, but you don't drink. So it doesn't take much discipline to exercise on something that doesn't even tempt you.
Right.
But in something else, now you say dessert, oh, that's a problem. Like I'm gonna have to exercise way more discipline to completely cut dessert out of my life.
Right.
So my point is, like, do you agree with that? Do you think that's a valid statement? Like the concept of discipline only works on things that tempt you?
I think that makes sense because I'm kind of the same way. Like I'm never tempted with somebody who has a drink. I'm never. Nope, not at all. Don't do it. I'm good. Now give me some Texas Roadhouse bread. That's a struggle. And depending on the season that I'm in, it's may not be as big of a struggle, and it may be an extreme struggle. Like, so I definitely could agree with that because, I can't say no to bread.
Yeah, no, Texas Roadhouse's bread is pretty bomb. I'm not gonna lie.
Different.
That is pretty bomb. Yeah, that's pretty bomb.
It's the butter.
Okay.
It's the butter.
Yeah. No, for sure. Let's shout out. I'm seeing a lot of new names, by the way, in the comments. So shout out to some of the new folks who've been joining the live show. Welcome aboard. This is the last live of the year, y'all. You ain't gonna see us for another week, but I'm saying that's a big deal. I don't know that. Yeah, this has been an incredible year so far. So shout out to everyone who's joining for the first time.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, we're here every Tuesday, by the way, 7 p.m. Eastern. No, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and we also drop.
Yeah, you put that in the email like flip. It confuses me. I'd be like, no, it's 7 p.m. Eastern.
But I did 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I was trying to do it the other way around, just to get some of those Central folks like, oh, okay, yeah, we on here too. We thinking about y'all. I've noticed like East Coast people, they're very selfish with time. That's like the only time they pay attention to. It's like they don't think about nobody else's time. So I'm like, all right, let me try and be a little bit more inclusive.
Okay, but side note, the West Coast people are the same way too.
Oh, 100%.
So 100%. I don't think like, what is it, Midwest? I don't know, the Central people. That I don't think they care. Because you don't necessarily see
cool being the middle child, like whatever.
Yeah, you don't necessarily see like posters and graphics of like 7 p.m. Central. No, you see West Coast or East Coast. You don't necessarily see.
That's true.
4:30 Central.
Yeah, they've been skipping out the middle child unless it's like unless it's for you, like a sporting game that happens to be the home team is from. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I was just about to read that. So Bree said, this makes me question what is tempting to me. I've been claiming the easy wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what you did there.
Yeah.
See what you
Yep,
did there.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So, like, again, as you exercise that discipline, go after some things that actually tempt you. I'm of that belief, by the way. Like, I actually believe in that. Like, when I read that, I was like, damn, that's true. I can't just chuck up my easy wins, like you said, Bree, to things that don't even tempt me or I don't have a desire for. Discipline has to be nurtured in something that is tempting to you, that you do that may not even hurt you, but you get away you get away with it, or that is hurting you, but you're just so accustomed and so comfortable doing it that you've just like, it is what it is. I'm just this way. And then you
Right.
kind of lean on that confidence as a crutch or that charisma as a crutch to just kind of walk it out and not necessarily be held accountable for it. So I am of that belief for sure.
I will say that. What about those forced disciplines? Does that count too?
What does that mean? Like forced
So,
disciplines?
so for example, let's say for my military people, like you have to wake up at like 4:00 in the morning, right? Forced disciplines, right? Or you have a certain situation that you have to wake up and be alert at 3:00 in the morning, right? Forced discipline. Like, what about is that really considered discipline?
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I think the only way you can judge that is what happens after you're out of there. Right? Like if you're no longer involved, you just like, all right, I'm not waking up past 12. Don't call me, don't text me, don't do nothing. You won't see me past 12.
Right.
Or after 12, I should say, before 12. It's like, I don't know, that the forced discipline. But I will say the best way, at least in the beginning, to jumpstart a habit is through some level of force. I will admit. In the beginning, because like if it were something that you didn't have to struggle with or you didn't struggle with, it wouldn't be an issue to begin with. So I think in the beginning, there has to be some level of force to at least just engrave that habit where you start reaping the benefits of it. And then it's like, okay, yep, this becomes kind of more of a natural flow for me.
That's fair. Shout out to the Central people. Central people's like, we don't care.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw somebody said we don't care because we know how to do math. That's hilarious.
Right.
I see y'all. We know how to do math, so we just calculate it on the fly.
I was just wondering.
Let's talk vices, Nix. Let's talk vices, because I think like in the beginning of the pandemic, one of the things that I said is like people's vices magnify or multiply when they have more free time.
Yes.
And I'm realizing that. I pray it doesn't happen, but with the way things are unfolding, it's like it's a little. There's some level of uncertainty around what's going to happen next from like quarantine, pandemic type situation with everything that's happening, right? And this also happens to be right around the same time that a new year is unfolding. So, I'm not saying necessarily talk about anything specific or personal, but like, just talk about vices, man, because I think like that's one of those things that, again, I think people have made it a part of who they are, and they may have even found shortcuts or cheat codes to work around it. But to some extent, it holds you back. If we were just to go back to the opening point that we started with, it holds you back, or it doesn't leave room for new things to develop in there. Right? And it happens at so many different levels, right? People hanging on to maybe like old relationships, but hoping to find a better partner. It's like, but don't you think if you were to you could possibly, I don't know, right? It could be one of those situations, but yeah, talk vices for a moment here.
Okay. So no, let me ask you, do I have vices? Because here's the naive type person that I am, because I'm a pilot and I'm a Leo. Sometimes I don't think I have any. Now, the only one I really think...
That's hella self-awareness right there. Shout out to you. No,
I'm fully aware of that. I'd be like, I ain't got none. Because I think of the typical stuff, right? Like I think of drugs and alcohol and